This video will show you how to thoroughly clean the fresh air intake vents on a 96 Lexus ES300. The two vents for that fresh air intake are located right beneath your windshield wipers. This is the driver's side, and you can see a vent right here runs from here to here. This is the larger vent, and there are two layers to the screening in this vent. There's an outer layer that's plastic, has larger holes, and beneath that is just like regular window screening. And it was the window screening underneath that was clogged up with mine, severely clogged up. But keep watching. I'll show you how to take all this apart, get to those screens and clean them out, and you'll be good as new. Air gets drawn in through those two vents when you have your heat, your AC, or even your fan on this setting. You can see by the arrow that's showing the air coming into your cabin from the outside, right at the base of the windshield. And if those vents are clogged up, that's going to restrict the airflow through the vents. You're not going to get as much air as you should be getting in the cabin. So here's how to take it all apart and clean them properly. This is the driver's side. As you can see, I've already got everything clean. But when I went through the first time taking it apart, I didn't know what I was doing. I had to figure it out as I was going, so now I can give you better direction. I'm going to take it all apart again because it's really easy to do. First thing is to take off 12mm bolts, one on the driver's side, windshield wiper arm, and another one on the passenger. I already have it loose. Now you have to get this windshield wiper arm off. And one thing I discovered, if you just grab it like it is right now and try to pull it, this gets caught on the threads because this is kind of pushed up at an angle. If you push down right here and then pull up on it, you can get it to come off. Same thing for reinstallation. If you push down right here, it'll go on easier, just like that. Now let's get the passenger side off. Passenger side, same way. I already have it loose, 12mm bolt, 12mm nut, I should say. So you get that off. And then same thing is on the driver's side. Push down right here, and you can lift it off. So get those out of the way, and now we'll get these plastic pieces out. This plastic piece that goes across the length of the windshield that holds the screens, it's actually two pieces, and there's a pin right here. Got this little prying tool. You could also use a flathead screwdriver. You got to kind of work that underneath, and that'll pop out. And this pin is holding the two pieces together. And don't lose the pin because we're going to reuse it. And with that pin out of the way, now these two pieces will come out separately after we get this weather stripping off. Now we got to get the weather stripping off, and starting on whichever side you want. I'm starting on driver's side. Just pull up on the weather stripping. You'll see these little pins that go down through the plastic into the body of the car, and that's what holds the front part of these plastic pieces on. So just work your way across, pull those pins up all the way across. Here's the last pin, and now we got the weather stripping loose, and as you can see, this one broke off. These pins are brittle. This car's 21 years old, you know, and plastic dries out. So be careful as you're pulling them up. Don't just yank on them. You don't want to tear the rubber, and you don't want to break the clips. So now with this weather stripping out of the way, we can get these plastic pieces out. All we have to do is lift up. This is the driver's side. You got to lift it up over this little arm that sticks up. And then with it being in two pieces, here's the driver's side piece. It's as easy as that. And these little clips right here, that's where the windshield fits into, those little slots right there. They're your screens, larger holes on the top, you know, through the plastic, but then that screen, just like window screen, that's what caught all the trash on mine. Mine were absolutely filthy. Passenger side comes out exactly the same way. I'm not going to take that out because it's literally the same way, just on the opposite side. So the video is going to pick up now with the cleaning process. You can see how clean it is now, but you're getting ready to see how dirty it was when I started. But look at all that. 21 years worth of crud. I know I've never cleaned it out. Look at that screen. Look how dirty that screen is. How clogged up that is. That is absolutely disgusting. I should have cleaned it out a long time ago. I got about as much as I could get with the vacuum. Now I'm going to scrub it down with some degreaser, maybe an old toothbrush. It'll fit up in all these small little spaces. So let me get that cleaned up. Clean the metal on the car. I'm going to spray it down with degreaser, Purple Power. Scrub it down. And then rinse it off with a hose. It'll take me a while, but I'll get it done. I'm also going to clean off the windshield wiper arms, especially on the underside. You can see all that crud that's built up over the years. Here's a good view of all that stuff clogging up the screen. but I'll be able to get all that cleaned out. All right, I sprayed both sections down with Purple Power degreaser. You can get that at Walmart. It's just a general purpose degreaser. I've already sprayed off one section. You can see how clean that screen is. In order to get everything out of there, all that trash, I turned it upside down so that the water would force everything out from the top side the same way it came in. So here we go. Look at that already. When you're washing off the weather stripping, just be careful that you don't lose clips. You're gonna need those when you reinstall it. I'll get this nice and clean, let it sit up and dry for a while, and then put Armor All on it to recondition it. You can see how clean the screen is now and how clean the plastic is, and it's all dried off. It's ready to go back on the car. But before I put it back on, I'm going to recondition the plastic, darken it. I could put Armor All on there, which would work for a while, but what I found it works much better than Armor All is Penetrol paint additive. It's a paint additive for oil-based paint. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm gonna apply it with an old paintbrush. I'll let this dry for about 30 minutes and then come back with a rag and wipe off any excess. I'm gonna get all of the plastic, both pieces, done with the Penetrol. I'm gonna stick with plain Armor All for the windshield wiper arm and for that weather stripping. Just get a rag saturated. So I'll get the arms wiped down and also this weather stripping both sides. Time for reassembly. Everything's clean and dry. Start with the driver's side. I'll explain why in just a second. You want this arm to go through that slot, this wiper arm to go through that hole, with that wiper arm to go through this hole, obviously, and then the windshield slides into these slots. But what may hold you up, if it feels like something's catching or not working right, this little piece of rubber kind of gets in the way. So you might have to play with that, and that butts right up against the edge of the plastic right here. So you may have to hold that piece of rubber out of the way while you work it into position. All right, there we go. Get it over that arm and then slide it up so that the windshield goes between those little slots. And you know you have it in the right position if you can see the holes that the clips are going to go through the plastic, and I do. So this one's good. Whoops, except for down there at the end, I missed a clip. There we go. All right, this piece is good. That's ready. Now let me put the passenger side on. You can see how much cleaner this is compared to what it was. That toothbrush and degreaser really got this nice and clean. Didn't get everything. Some of that stuff just wouldn't come off. But that's probably the first time it's been taken apart and cleaned in 21 years. Now, the reason you put that side on first is because this side has to fit over that. So put the driver's side on first. It's going to be the same thing over here. This little rubber piece is probably going to hang you up. That's the trickiest part. Everything else is pretty straightforward. It goes right over that arm. There we go. All right, we got these two pieces fitting together. All the holes are lined up, rubber pieces in the right position, and it's pushed up on the windshield. So this side's ready to go. Now I can put the clips in and that weather stripping that goes on the front. All right, I've already worked my way across, starting on the passenger side, reinstalling the clips, and be careful with them. They're very brittle. I had one break. You just push them back down into the holes. Like that. This one's already broken, but this one is not. So hopefully just holding it on the edge will be enough. So I'll just put that one back down through the hole. And then this last one. I think enough of the clips are good that this will stay in place. Now I have one more clip to install. That hole right there, that's where this clip goes. It holds the two pieces together. And that just pushes back down in there. So when you take it apart, make sure you don't lose that clip because it'll pop out. All right, reinstallation of the wiper arms. D for driver's side. I'm gonna slip that right over the bolt. I'll put this on finger tight for now to hold it there. And you wanna make sure that the wiper blade is all the way down, because you could put it in, if you tighten it right there and tighten it all the way down, that's not the right position. You wanna make sure that it's all the way down on this little stop, and then tighten your bolt down. Passenger side, same thing. I'll put it on finger tight. And there's also a stop on this side, right there, right in the middle. You want to make sure that the arm is all the way down, touching that stop right there. Don't put it on and tighten it when it's right here. not the right position. Make sure it's all the way down and then tighten it down. You can see I'm putting pressure, holding it down against that stop, because it has a tendency as you tighten to pull the arm up. So make sure you're putting pressure down to hold the arm all the way down, then get it nice and tight, and you're good. Now the only thing left to do is get inside and test it and make sure it works okay. Here comes the test. No reason it's not going to work. I have the ignition on to the second click, and here go the wipers. No problem. A little bit of water. Nice and quiet. Let me shut them off. Make sure they go all the way down. Bam. That's it. Not too difficult. Should apply to all early, mid, late 90s ES300s and Camrys, because, you know, Lexus ES300s and Camrys are so similar in many respects. So easy to do. Hope this helps you out, and good luck if you try it.